Hi there. If you are out in the woods in a cold, rainy winter day like this, you may want to build a shelter, and you can do that with a good folding knife, or you can do that with this. Okay. What I got here is a Kershaw camp 10, a heavy-duty monster chopper knife, and I can promise you this knife can chop. Okay. The material in the blade is, I must have a peek here, of course. Is MN65 tool steel or spring steel, I don't know which one is correct. And the blade length is 10 inches and the total length is 16 inches. I have used this knife pretty much this winter, and this is the biggest knife I ever owned, and I must, from the start I was a little, but I was impressed, very impressed. I'm going to show you later in the video, of course, some chopping task, and like I said in the start of the video, you can build a shelter with a folding knife, but if you want to save some time and energy, you can use this. I'll be back soon. A little more about the knife, of course, the sheath. The sheath is some kind of plastic, I don't know if it's Kydex, I don't know. When I got this knife it was kind of wobbling. You can hear when I do it like this, it was rattling. But I put down some cotton in the bottom here, so it just some kind of old shirt. Put it down here and took the knife and shove it down. So now the rattle is gone. And for the knife it comes with some kind of velcro for the belt. You can, if you want to carry this humongous knife on the belt, I don't carry it like this. You got some kind of velcro here. Also, I carry this knife in my backpack. Oi. Like this, on the side. Here. You see it. And I attach it with some paracords here. While my food is cooking, we can go into the forest and sacrifice some trees. And I'm going to show you that this knife is really, really good. Come. Okay, if we pretend that we are totally lost in the woods and don't have any tarp and that kind of stuff, and we must build a shelter from what you can find in the woods. This pretty long tree, maybe 5 meters, could be a good start for building the shelter. My kind of shelter. So you can see me chopping. Tree is pretty thick, you can see, maybe 6 centimeters, 5 maybe. timber. This knife is built like a kuriki. I think it's pronounced kuriki. You know, that Nepal warrior close combat knife. It's like a modern version of that. And when you chop, you should always hit with this part of the knife. Then you get that really big punch. If you hit here, it's not going to do the job as well as if you hit here. It's also good to save this area for finer task, because this steel get pretty dull really fast, but on the other hand is very easy to sharpen up with a dog bone or a diamond rod. You can use them both. First a diamond stone and then a dog bone. And in only 2 or 3 minutes I got myself a pretty long branch for building a shelter. You can see I can cut this at least in 3 parts and have a good start for building my shelter. When I last autumn, when I was in the thinking of buying one of these big knife, I was looking at the buck knife with that one of my idol designed from Ron Hudlam. I guess many of you know that guy. Rest in peace. Because I thought that knife was very beautiful, but very beautiful and very expensive. So I decided to buy a knife that I have read about, and people say it was very, very good and not as expensive. So like a test knife, so I can test if I like the big knife. Maybe I buy that Ron Hudlam knife in the future. I really like that. And talking about Hudlam, now I'm gonna do some Hudlam shopping. Good chopper. So what do you think about this Kershaw Camp 10? I think I have shown you that it can do some really good task in the woods. And if you don't feel okay with an axe, this can be a compliment for it. And I think a big Bowie knife or this kind of knife is much safer than an axe. I have friends who have cut themselves really bad with axe, right down the foot here, really deep with an axe in the middle of north of Sweden in the mountains. So they was forced to leave the guy who was wounded with another guy who was trained from the army infantry group medic. They left them in the woods, and the other two guys was forced to travel a couple of miles, 5-6 hours downhill, and steal a boat to row over a lake, and then finally they find a station with a rescue telephone so they can call in helicopter to pick him up. That guy was lucky. Säkrast att ha en sån här, va? Bansai. Before I eat, I'm going to show you the Swedish military cap. This cap was before my time. I was out of the army 2000, and this one is 2001. Like a fossil, like I am dinosaur, we have green caps, but we have this camouflage, this strange Swedish camouflage. But in the early days it was green with some flaps up here. A very popular cap, that old one, and this one, the Swedish M59 shirt, very popular in Sweden. And if you know a guy whose name is Ray Mears, look at his videos, then you're gonna see this shirt. Let me show you. If I can take my jacket off. And this also is, today they got newer models, but very popular in Sweden, and I guess in Europe too. Now it's time to eat.